Good morning, Kathmandu. Welcome to Business FM 94.9 MHz, your Chalta Firta business partner, and you guys are listening to Good Morning Kathmandu with Suraj right now. So, if you guys are tuning to this station and this show especially for the first time, then this show is all about inspiration. This show is all about inspirational talks, inspirational people with awesome people. So, yes, we have got one awesome people today in the station right now. So, we have got Miss Bahar Kumar from Nepal Communitere. She's the executive director there. So, Miss Bahar, welcome to the show.
Hi Suraj, hello Kathmandu. It is so much fun to be out here today.
So how was the journey, like from your house to the station, Dua Dulo and stuff?
Nay, Tikita, it was fine. I had to do the regular haggling for a taxi cab.
Okay.
Couldn't get the meter, but then finally negotiated something that was doable.
How was Kathmandu this morning? Because the place from where I came, it was very pretty because it's like this part of the city, right? So it was very clean and sunny and bright. I loved it. So how was your part of the city?
The mornings right now are beautiful. So there's this freshness and crispness in the air, and I was really happy to be out.
So they're finally cleaning the roads as well, so jet spray and stuff. So yes, Kathmandu is looking cleaner day by day. So that's a good news because we have faced the problems. We have faced like worst problems. So yes. As I was saying, we are gonna talk about Nepal Communitere company. We have got like one awesome event that's happening from 22nd of September, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's happening this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's
22nd of September and 23rd of September, right?
Yes.
So I have heard about Nepal Communitere a bit, but I am not I've not heard a lot about it. I don't know a lot about it. So why don't you explain what is Nepal Communitere and...
Sure. So Nepal Communitere is this amazing, vibrant, funky hub smack in the middle of Pulchok. And the reason why we're so funky and different is because we're made with shipping containers. So our resource center has about 16 shipping containers.
Wow.
And we've stacked them up, and right now they're being splashed with amazing color from artists out of Kalod 101. And so it's got graffiti art. We have one of our containers that pops open on Fridays for networking nights, and it serves some drinks and snacks.
Wow.
We have co-working space, a maker space, and it's a meeting spot for like-minded people to really brainstorm and talk about brilliant ideas and see how we can take them forward.
Sounds like my place. I'm
Absolutely.
definitely pressing in anytime.
Yes.
All right. So when did it start, Nepal Communitere, and how the journey started? So can you share something about it?
Sure. We started about 3 years ago now, after the 2015 earthquake. Yeah.
Okay.
And the whole idea behind Communitere is that a disaster can be a catalyst for innovation.
True.
Yeah, and especially in communities like Nepal, where people are so resourceful and brilliantly adaptive and agile around survival. So we thought, why not harness some of that really brilliant thinking and see if we can cultivate some of those new ideas into becoming successful community initiatives, businesses, social enterprises, whatever it is that they want it to become, we cultivate them to become successful.
Okay, sounds really cool and amazing. So what are the core areas that you guys are currently working? You mentioned something before, but are those your core areas, or like maybe you guys have more areas where you guys are focused in right now?
So we're really community driven. So when we talk about areas or sectors, it's really based on whatever people come to us with. So one of the examples I'd love to share is Drishti Kathmandu. So Drishti Kathmandu is a real social justice movement around air quality and air pollution in the Kathmandu Valley. So they basically started meeting about 2 years ago in our space every Thursday morning. And what it did is it brought people together, citizens, to address air quality. They have air monitoring devices planted all over the valley. They make that data available to the public.
Wow.
And now the public is like, we got to do something about this.
True.
So now they've been working with local leaders around policy implementation to help mitigate dust and air pollution in the valley.
So I see a lot of young people, like I've got some of my friends in Nepal Communitere. When I see them post Instagram stories and so, like Facebook posts, they're like 2 a.m. in the morning working in something crazy cool stuff. I'm like, wow, these guys are awesome. So, why young people in Nepal Communitere? Because generally, like organizations, they prefer more experienced, more mature people.
No.
I see Nepal Communitere has a lot of young people out there.
Absolutely no. It's the young people that are the ones that are gravitating towards this right now. So there's a hunger, a desire, an inspiring sort of vision among young people to really redesign the way we live. That's why the theme for the Kathmandu Mini Maker Fair is Design the Future.
Okay.
Because young people are the ones that are seeing opportunity in scarcity. They're the ones that see that, oh, something's not right and I want to do something about it. And so we want to bring them in, engage them in a really meaningful way before they jump ship, before they leave Nepal, before we lose them to the brain drain.
Exactly. So how hard it was, like the process of starting Nepal Communitere and then starting this, all the cool things that you guys are doing, funky things that I should say, right?
Yeah.
So how hard was the journey? Like, was it very easy, or do you face some problems?
No, none of this stuff is easy. It is hard. This work is hard, and the journey. So one of the things at Communitere that we really, really emphasize is the journey, and the process is just as important, if not more so, than the actual end product. So for us, our journey getting here has been so powerful because it's a testament to community. One of the core principles about Communitere is that it's based in community needs. So even when we designed the Community Resource Center, the hub, it was designed through community engagement. So when we had moments where we thought we had to shut our doors, we brought in our community and asked them, what should we do? We strategized and brainstormed with them, and we came up with a solution and a way forward. So the reason why we're able to be here today is because of the people who come in and use our space and see value in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yes, guys, if you guys are listening to us, then Nepal Communitere is one cool place that you guys should definitely visit. It's in Pulchok, right?
It's in Pulchok. If you see Labim Mall and Suzuki Showroom, we're squeezed right in between there.
Right in between Labim Mall and Suzuki Showroom. So we have got one song. It's time for a short musical break, and that'll be followed by one commercial break. So, Bahar, this was your song, right? So Katy Perry, Fireworks. So why this song?
Because I want everyone to light their fire this weekend. Come out to Communitere, come out to the Maker Fair, be bold, think big, and especially all those amazing young women out there, come on out.
Alright, so yes, this is one song, Katy Perry Go, Fireworks for you guys from Bahar. So we'll be back after this short musical break. So yes, keep listening to Biz FM 94.9 MHz. So yes, welcome back to Biz FM 94.9 MHz. You guys are tuned into the favorite station of the nation and your Chalta Firta business partner. If you guys are wondering why we call ourselves your Chalta Firta business partner, then you know what, if you tune into your radio set, then we are available in the frequency 94.9 MHz and also through our website www.bizfm.com.np globally. So yes, if you are in Kathmandu, you can listen to us. If you are in Los Angeles, you can listen to us. If you guys are in Melbourne or Tokyo or any part of the city, even in Antarctica, if you guys are internet, you can definitely listen to us. So yes, this is Good Morning Kathmandu with Suraj, and we've got one awesome personality here in the studio right now, Miss Bahar Kumar from Nepal Communitere. She's the executive director there, and we are having a lot of fun. We are having a lot of, ekdam khatra kura because I can't explain it. So yes, Bahar, so continuing our talk, so Nepal, we talked a bit about Nepal Communitere, right? So there's this event happening this Saturday and Sunday. It's called the Kathmandu Mini Maker Fair. So why don't we share something about it?
Sure. So the Maker Fair is this huge, amazing celebration of the maker movement. And Nepal, believe it or not, is totally familiar with this. This is not a new concept here. And that's why we brought it to Nepal. And the maker movement is really about going back, and it's not going back for Nepal because it's been part of its tradition from the very beginning, but it's using our hands. It's using tools, machines, equipment to create, to make, to innovate. And so it's not just about technology, but it's about carpentry. It's about the trades. It's about using our hands in a very
resources that are available to us easily.
Exactly. And so we don't want to emphasize so much on it being totally about tech, because it's also about creativity and art and being innovative and thinking
Mm-hmm.
out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a meetup of people of all ages, of all types, genders, backgrounds coming together
Mm-hmm.
to look at how we can redesign the future. So
Mm-hmm.
the whole theme for the Maker Faire this year is around design the future,
Wow.
focusing on health, education, and the environment. So we know Nepal is changing,
True.
and there's a lot of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so we think this is a time when we can step back and say, let's imagine
Mm-hmm.
a new future for Nepal. Let's
True.
design this
Mhm.
in a way that we want a meaningful life around the way we educate ourselves and our young people, our environment, and even health, the way
Mhm.
we take care of ourselves, wellness, well-being, the way hospitals are managed. How can we do that differently? How can we do that better? So it's a really wonderful platform. We're going to have about 20 people from different parts of the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've
Mhm.
got makers and people who run these innovation hubs from countries like Uganda, Nigeria, Kenya,
Mhm.
Bangladesh,
Okay.
India, Thailand. So it's a meetup where there's going to be a lot of co-creation and cross-cultural dialogue
Mhm.
where we can learn from other models around the world and they can learn about the work that's happening here in Nepal.
Wow. So what are the other cool features or maybe like other cool things that we can find out in the fair?
So we're going to have live virtual reality booths. We're going to
Okay.
have live 3D printing. There's
Mhm.
going to be drone mobs going on. It's a real space for a lot of fun and creativity that's going to be happening. There's our shipping containers are being painted, so there's going to be a live art sort of community project
Mhm.
where people can come and paint our containers with us. Drishti Kathmandu that I was talking about before
Yeah,
is taking over this green space right outside our building and claiming it for the community.
Mhm.
And they're just going to do a community cleanup and a community garden out there.
Oh.
So this is a way for community to claim this space and say we want to design it for the way we want to live and the future we want to build for ourselves.
So is it a free event? Anyone can crash it?
Absolutely. We think that this needs to be totally open and free to the public, so
Mhm.
everyone is welcome throughout the 2 days. We open our doors. We're going to launch it on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, so please come. It's going to be a really exciting launch. I don't want to give it away. And then after that, we've got these amazing Spark sessions
Mhm,
that are these dialogue talk sessions. It's not going to be a boring PowerPoint, but it's going to be a conversation around how do some of these ideas work and why do some of them fail?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
how can we learn around that?
Mhm.
Iteration is one of the key core values of Communitere, and what that means is we constantly go back
Mhm.
and rethink how we can do it better
Okay.
and differently.
Mhm.
So we don't see failure as failure. We see it as learnings and an opportunity to do things better and differently. So that's what we're going to do this weekend. We're going to challenge each other, or we're going to design new and creative solutions for Nepal and beyond.
I'm already excited. So a little shout out
Wow.
to a little shout out to the Kathmandu Mini Maker Fair happening this 22nd and 23rd. That's Saturday and Sunday. So yes, you guys should be there. If you guys are listening to us, like Kathmandu Bairo Nunsaman, come back, man. This is gonna be like one hell of a weekend in Kathmandu. We're gonna have Kathmandu Mini Maker Fair. A lot of cool people doing cool stuff. So you can like witness it and also become a part of it. So yes, you should be there. I think this is amazing. So I was following Nepal Communitere through my friends. So one of my friends, he went outside Kathmandu
Yes.
to promote, the art of making. So
Yes.
there were like satellite mini maker fairs outside the city as
Yeah.
well. So can you share
Yeah.
a little bit more about
Yeah,
it?
so we had an amazing opportunity to collaborate with UNDP's Co-Youth Lab. And what they did is they helped sponsor these design stints.
Uh-huh.
So we really wanted to seed this idea around design thinking, human-centered design thinking. And in every single province throughout Nepal, there were these design stints that took place. And it was amazing what unfolded. In certain cities, we got maybe a dozen people. And then you go to places like Dangari and you get 150 people. So it was such an amazing learning experience because we saw that yes, the maker movement and design thinking is something that people are hungry to learn about.
Mhm.
These are ideas that they already know, but it's about how to apply them
True.
and package them so that they feel that they can take their ideas forward. So that's what was happening all throughout the months of July and August leading up to the Maker Faire. And we're inviting some of these makers now to come and showcase their brilliant prototypes at the Maker Fair. So you'll get to meet them as well.
So do you guys also work with the government, maybe in policy label or maybe advocating the things that you guys are doing? So do you guys work with the government?
You know what? I'll be really honest. One of the things that we haven't been so good at is forming some of these key partnerships. So I'm making a call out for any of those government partners out there. Please come and reach out to us and we'll do the same. One of the things that we've been really focusing on are our young people.
True.
We've been investing all of our energies into our users and our space. But now's the time for us to start coming out of that space and saying, okay, partners, let's start cultivating an ecosystem that can really support innovators and entrepreneurs from start to finish. And that does require government partners. But I have to say, we haven't done a great job of doing that so far.
All right. I see a list of some of the partners that you guys have for the Kathmandu Mini Maker.
Yes.
So you can give a shout out to them as well.
Sure. We are so fortunate and blessed to have our sponsors, DFID, UK Aid. They have been amazing in allowing us to design and create this amazing event that's going to engage innovative entrepreneurs. And then we also have the Kathmandu Guest House Foundation. They have sponsored all of the hotels for all of our international guests, and so they're going to be put up in these nice places, and they're going to experience a wonderful stay here in Kathmandu so that they keep on coming back.
So yes, thank you very much all the supporters for supporting Kathmandu Mini Maker Fair, because I personally believe that this movement should go forward, because like I see as a young person myself that a lot of our my young fellows, they're like brain drain, and they're like they've been very pessimist, and they don't see hope in a lot of things. So maybe this kind of things can spark something inside of them. And I'm very, very hopeful. So, and you guys are doing an awesome job. Trust me, I'm like super inspired. Oh my god, I'm inspired every morning. I've been meeting so many awesome people these days. Oh, that's like best. So I think it's time for us to take one more musical break, because our listeners might want to listen to some music, right? So this is also your choice, right? So that's Alicia Keys, and the song's title is Girl on Fire. So why this song?
Why Girl on Fire? Because I feel like I'm on fire these days. And part of it is maybe we can talk about the inspiring young people that we're working with on the Maker Fair, because those are your friends and those are the guys that I'm working with, and they are brilliant, and they've helped me light my fire.
Lovely people. So yes, we'll definitely talk about it after this short musical break and the commercial break that follows. So yes, Alicia Keys, Girls on Fire. This is for you guys from Bahar. So yes, enjoy this song. We'll be back shortly. So yes, welcome back. You guys are listening to Biz FM 94.9 MHz, the favorite station of the nation, and you're South Africa business partner. And the show's name is Good Morning Kathmandu with Suraj, and we have got an awesome personality here in the studio today, Miss Bahar Kumar from Nepal Communitere. She is the executive director there.
Oh, please don't call me that. I cringe.
But you are the executive director,
right? No. I'm telling you, there's a whole amazing crew, team, community posse out there that's created this.
So when we were talking off the record off air, right? So you were telling like we've got a great team, and then Nepal Communitere is all about team. So why don't you share something about the team?
Yeah. So basically, I really want to share the story of one of our core team members, because Maker Fair was launched back in 2016, and we brought it back in 2018. And Tribesh, you know who you are. He's working really hard. He worked probably all night. Him and I, stayed up late. He came to us a few months ago and he said, ma'am, the Maker Fair back in 2016, I was one of the volunteers, and it changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah, and my jaw dropped. And I was like, how did it change your life? He goes, I realized I'm a maker, and I realized that this is my calling and this is my passion. And I decided, can I say this out loud, Tribesh? I hope I'm not getting you in trouble. He decided, he's like, I'm not going to go to college immediately, and I'm going to take some time, and I'm going to grow and learn on my own by being a maker. And he came back, and he's with us 2 years later, hasn't enrolled in college, has grown tremendously.
True.
And is helping to produce and launch and design all of our amazing, sort of print documents for the Maker Fair.
Wow. Hey, Trivis, if you guys are listening to us, you're amazing. And Bahar loves you, absolutely loves you here.
There's just this amazing team from Rural Development Initiative, RDI, and Maker Valley. But I'll tell you, I see the amazing hard work, passion, and dedication that young people have when they see such value in this sort of work. And so I just want to give a shout out to all of them. You guys are amazing, brilliant, and I feel totally lucky to be working with you guys. And I know I haven't been the nicest, so I'm sorry. I promise to be better after the Maker Faire.
And trust me, you've got a very good leader, guys. Like, Bahar is such an amazing person. I'm having fun, like so much fun, and learning at the same time, like, you know, tremendously, like big time. So let's go back to the history of Mini Maker Faire, right?
Sure.
So you said like it happened in the year 2016 and it's happening again in the year 2018.
Yeah.
So why don't you share something about the Mini Maker Faire that happened in the year 2016?
Sure. So first of all, I just want to let you know, Maker Faire is a global movement. It's a global event, kind of like TED Talks. So you know how TED Talks are hosted all over the world. Anybody can do them. That's kind of what Maker Faire is. It started in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, and it's grown since then. So if you look it up, they happen in every major city, every small town. There's mini Maker Faires, and there's full-blown, big-time main like Maker Faires. And so we brought it, Nepal Communitere brought it to Nepal back in 2016. And what was really exciting about that Maker Faire is it was the very first humanitarian Maker Faire. So it took this event that brings in hobbyists, DIY people who love to hack and create and make and do funky things with drones and 3D printers and art. We said we want to engage all of those makers around social impact. How can you take that passion for making and use it for social good? And that was such a wonderful idea by the sponsors who are Make. Make is a magazine that comes out of the US. They loved the concept, they loved the idea. And it's taken off, and it's now this like Makers for Global Good has come out of stuff like this. You see more and more of these Maker Fairs that are addressing social challenges. So that's one of the things that we really loved is back in 2016, we launched one of the first humanitarian Maker Fairs.
In Nepal.
In Nepal. It came to Nepal.
Wow.
Yeah. So Nepal was one of the first countries to host the very first humanitarian Maker Faire.
So wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
So apart from the satellite Mini Maker Fairs that you guys do outside the country, because I see there's a lot, you know, like there's a huge untapped, you know, like skill or maybe untapped resources outside the city.
Yes.
Outside Kathmandu's
Absolutely.
Periphery. So apart from the satellite events that you guys do, how do you plan to reach out to that big resource or maybe that big manpower outside the city?
So that's what we did leading up to this year's event. Because we even saw that back in 2016, that there was this hunger and this, like you said, untapped, you know, sort of brilliant movement that was also popping up throughout the country. So that's why we had 7 design stints that were held in every single province throughout the country. And what we're trying to do is bring them to Kathmandu this year, but we're exploring how we can do these Maker Fairs and other hubs and other places throughout the country. Yes, it started in Kathmandu, but it doesn't need to stay here.
Exactly.
It might be better in Dangari or
True.
in Chitwan or in Biratnagar or Butwal. So we actually want to inspire other communities to launch their own Maker Faire and help them host one of these events in the future.
Wow. So leaving Mini Maker Faire aside and Nepal Communitere aside, I want to talk about you, Bahar. Because the show is also about you.
Okay.
Right? So, who is Bahar Kumar? let the world know.
Oh no, where do I start? We were talking a little bit about this, right? So it starts with my name.
Okay.
Because people really appreciate it. And then they say, well, where's it from? Like, where are you from? Because Bahar is not a common Nepali name.
No. But I've got a friend with the name Bahar.
Oh, so maybe it is. But I was born in Iran during springtime. And so my father named me Bahar, which means spring in Persian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bahar.
Bahar.
Bahar, if you're listening to me, then I found the meaning of your name. You're troubled with that. Okay.
So it means springtime. And, but I'm a bit of I would say ABCD, American born, confused Desi, even though I'm not American born. So my San Jose folks, Oakland folks, I'm from Oakland as well.
The entire California.
All of California, all of the U.S. would appreciate that acronym. So I am a bit of a confused Desi. I don't know how confused my children might be. But grew up in the U.S. primarily. Moved there at the age of 3. But my parents are Indians from Delhi. So Delhi was kind of home base for me whenever I would come back to India. And then sort of had all my formative years in California, Los Angeles. I grew up in one of the rougher neighborhoods in LA. So, gangs, gang fights. I went to a school where we were told we couldn't wear certain colors because fights would break out. My girlfriends would go get their nails done, their fingernails done before a fight.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't grow up with privilege. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. There's a lot of assumptions about South Asians in the U.S. that we're the elite and the wealthy, but that's not entirely true. There's a huge working class that is also consistent, that is made up of South Asians. So I had a really amazing, rich, diverse upbringing. I had friends of all colors, shapes, and sizes. And I think that's what makes me who I am today.
So what's the Nepal connection that you have?
My amazing partner, Satish Joshi, I have to give a shout out to him.
Exactly.
He is the one who's brought me to this beautiful place called Nepal. So I met him, gosh, how long has it been? 13 years now?
Wow.
Yeah, so we spent the first 6 years in Oakland, wonderful urban hub in California. And we've been in Nepal now for 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
So you can speak Nepali, right?
Alikati.
So एकछिनको लागि नेपाली बोलौँ
Okay, but you guys, everyone at home, you can make fun of me. But मेरो नेपाली राम्रो छैन.
It's pretty good. It's better than mine. Trust me.
Trust you? Okay.
So just a personal question, maybe a little bit personal. So how did you, end up with makers? How did you end up in this area?
Yeah.
How?
Nepal is not an easy place to live.
Trust me.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the roads. I'm looking at the dust, the pollution. Everything feels a bit of an eyesore. It's a little frustrating because things get stuck in government and bureaucracy. And then I come into this hub called Communitere. And I came to know about Communitere because I was co-working out of there. I was consulting, freelancing, and using the space. And my eyes lit up. And I was just inspired by the possibilities and the opportunities that unfolded in that hub. Mainly because I was surrounded by these young makers, these people that had these ideas, and there was this amazing buzz about the space that I just couldn't leave. And so it was started by an international team. And they were really looking for someone who was rooted to Nepal but understood the concept that they wanted to cultivate here. And they asked me, or actually I asked them, could I help run this space? Because I think it's so amazing. And they said, yes. And that's what we're doing. And that's why I'm there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A big shout out to the amazing Bahar Kumar here.
No.
So Bahar, it's a time we, play another song.
Great.
So
Let's do
it's my choice. To be very honest, the song's title is Just Wanna Dance With Somebody, and it's from Baby Rexa, my personal favorite. I listened to it very recently, but I don't know, every time I listen to the song I feel like dancing.
Yeah.
So this is dedicated to all the awesome listeners that are listening to us right now. This FM 94.9 MHz, and the show's name is Good Morning Kathmandu with Suraj. We'll be back shortly after this short musical but Romilo break. And yes, keep listening to us. So yes, you guys are listening to the favorite station of the nation, Biz FM 94.9 megahertz, and the show's name is Good Morning Kathmandu with Suraj. So yes, I'm having a lot of fun. We have got Bahar in the studio from Nepal Communitere, and we are talking about Kathmandu Mini Maker Year 2018, and it's happening this Saturday and Sunday. That's September 22nd and 23rd. You guys should be there. I'm gonna be there like the entire day. I'm gonna have a lot of fun, meet a lot of awesome people. So a big shout out to Nepal Communitere and Bahar personally.
Thanks.
So, Bahar, we're like almost at the end, like sakina. So, let's talk about the future plans of Nepal Communitere. So, what's the plan now?
You know what? We have plans, but then we don't. Because we leave it open. Because we've got to. We've got to be dynamic, and we've got to be adaptive, and we've got to be able to change things on the spot. And our plans are not ours, because this space is based on the community. So if a group comes in or a bunch of people come in and say we would love to do this, then we try and see if we can make it happen. But our plan, honestly, right now, what I would say when people say, what is your dream for Communitere? It's to take it outside of Kathmandu.
Should do that.
Yeah. It's because there's all this amazing stuff that's happening, like we talked about earlier, outside. So that's what I'd like to do, is I'd like to see how we could take this sort of concept of a hub, of a meeting space, and see how it evolves in different places in the country and how it looks different.
I'm very excited for that, because I see, as I mentioned earlier, I see a lot of untapped resources, a lot of untapped brains out there. So if guided properly, if given a platform, then I'm pretty sure that Nepal is going to be a good hub for makers.
And so one of the things that we really do is we want to take these innovators and make them entrepreneurs. So Suraj, I know you're a big entrepreneur.
I'm not a big entrepreneur, a small time.
When I say big, I mean you're bold, you're thinking big, and that's why I like to be around young people like you. I'm not talking about the money you're making. I'm talking about the inspiration that you have, about the ideas that you want to build out. Those are entrepreneurs. And what Nepal Communitere wants to do is find a way to support these young entrepreneurs so that they're not failing, they're not isolated, they're not discouraged. So we have a business incubation program. It's called iCube. It stands for the 3 pillars of success: innovate, iterate, incubate. And we were just wrapping up our first cohort. So graduation demo day is happening at the end of November. And we are partnering with some other folks to create a seed fund so we can get these early stage entrepreneurs some small pots of money, not like $100,000, euros, whatever, but just a few lakhs to get them going, get them running. And then what we're doing is we're launching in Chitwan.
Oh wow, when is it happening?
It's happening around December. Yeah.
So that's going to be the second...
So yeah, in year 2, we're going to be running both at Communitere in Kathmandu, and we're going to launch iCube in Chitwan as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that, guys.
Yes, you should definitely. So if you guys are listening to us from Chitwan, or if you guys are planning on being in Chitwan maybe from December 2018, then I think you should definitely note it down. We're going to have one awesome platform in Chitwan as well, and that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's our vision for the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when can we see, like...
So at the Maker Fair, if you stop by, you'll meet Anita and Anil, our amazing iCube team. So they will share with you exactly what you can do to get on the bandwagon and apply to our program. We're launching the applications this weekend, and the year 2 cohort for Kathmandu will be starting in November. Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm especially interested when it comes to entrepreneurship, because it's got that challenge and that.
Yes.
So what do you think? Like, is there's a hype about entrepreneurship in the country right now. So everyone wants to become an entrepreneur. So I ask this question to every possible guest that I have, if they understand business in a way. So what do you think about this trend, the hype about entrepreneurship in the country? Is it good or is it bad for you?
It's good.
Okay.
And not necessarily because it's about making money, but it's the mindset. So it teaches you about resilience, about being adaptive, and grit. So grit is like that inner sort of desire to push forward, irrespective of the challenges that come your way. And being an entrepreneur requires a lot of grit. and a lot of persistence. And that's what we think is quite important for
Very,
success.
very true.
And one of the things that we really focus on and we want to highlight at this Maker Faire is design thinking. And when we talk about design thinking, a lot of people are talking about design thinking, right? Because it's this Western concept. But it's this user-centered, human-centered design thinking. A lot of entrepreneurs think they've got this brilliant idea, which it probably is, but they're not grounding it
Exactly.
in people's experiences,
True.
right? So that's what we challenge our entrepreneurs is, let's go back a few steps. Are you willing to take that step back? If you are, then you really are a genuine entrepreneur because you want to design and create a solution that's going to be so meaningful and valuable for your customers, your community, your users. And that is the magic, I think, of entrepreneurship. If people get that, then they're designing and building something that's meaningful for people.
I'm like, poof.
Right?
Yeah.
And when that light bulb goes off, which it's happened for all of our entrepreneurs on the IQ program, that light bulb goes off and they're like, I get it. Oh my gosh, I have something brilliant because I understand the people I'm designing for.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I practice design thinking to a level. So
Good.
we're gonna have this
Yes.
conversation after.
Absolutely.
So it's time for us to leave actually. So I'm very sad. You know.
I am too.
I don't want to
This
leave.
was
today.
amazing. I just want to thank you guys. I think what you're doing here at Biz FM, Suraj, is really wonderful.
Thank you
This
very much.
platform for entrepreneurs, for thinking out of the box, having fun, starting your morning off this way. I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you so much.
You should come back someday. Again.
I would love to. This is so much fun.
Yeah. So yes, let's share a bit information about the Kathmandu Mini Maker Fair before we go. So
Yes, Saturday and Sunday. It's at Nepal Communitere. We are in Pulchok, right between Labim Mall and Suzuki Showroom. Open our doors. It's free for everybody, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like I said, you'll see drone flying, 3D printing, virtual reality. There's some community gardening, live art projects. Karkana is running the Kids Zone. These are all free activities. There's a makerspace that's going to have makerspace workshops, dialogue workshops, and spark sessions in our courtyard. So there's a lot going on.
that already sounds so cool. I'm definitely crashing in, and you guys should crash in to the Mini Maker Fair as well. So yes, thank you very much, Bahar,
Absolutely.
for
Thank you.
gracing us with your presence this morning.
Thank you.
And I wish you luck for the Mini Maker Fair and all the future endeavors that Nepal Communitere takes on. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathmandu. Thank you, Nepal. And I hope to share more stories with you all soon.
So yes, Kathmandu and the entire Nepal, or maybe the entire world, whoever is listening to us, this is Biz FM 94.9 MHz, and the show's name is Good Morning Kathmandu, and it's time for us to go. Sadly, we have to go, but we'll catch you guys up this Friday, बिहानको 8 बजेदेखि 9 बजेसम्म फेरि पनि with awesome personalities, or maybe some good songs sometimes, right? So yes, I've got one awesome song for you guys. This is my personal favorite. I play it very often, but do not be irritated because this song is super nice, and the song's title is Mere Karwa, and I hope to be back with you guys real soon. So yes, good morning Kathmandu.